I have many nostalgic items in my apartment and on me and in my life, but I decided that I want to add 2 more to my collection, and I would like to invite you to join me on this journey of designing MTV-style 90s-2000s Fresh Prince of Bel-Air inspired all-over print hoodie and all-over print sports leggings. Hi everyone, I'm Mey, a print-on-demand content creator here on YouTube and a proud 80s kid. I love creating everything that is nostalgic to my childhood, whether it's the late 80s, the early 90s, or even the early 2000s. For example, this Printful backpack with cute elements that we kind of grew up with, as well as these Printful shoes and the whole mismatch kind of fashion. If you guys remember, there was like a trend to buy 2 pairs of shoes, so one of them is in one color, the other one is another, and everything in tie-dye. Seriously, I'm gonna take you through my inspiration process as well as the design process using free elements from Canva and designing the patterns on Canva itself, and of course show you how the items look in real life. So I went into Google Images and I opened up the MTV logo, and there are plenty of results, and this is a major throwback for me. I'm looking at all of these different styles with the colors that clash together. We have different patterns all over the MTV logo, and I really like the combination in many cases of a shape, a pattern of some sort with another pattern. Sometimes it's a checkered pattern. But my biggest inspiration came from just typing on Google image search the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air clothing. And I feel like there is the iconic Will Smith stripes t-shirt, the one that is yellow and green. I also remember that there was a pattern that they were wearing a lot, whether it was on a formal jacket or on some kind of baseball jacket, and even on his actual basketball. I was taking a lot of inspo from that. After immersing myself and my eyes in 90s and early 2000s fashion, I moved up to step 2, which is creating the designs over on Canva. I do like the stripes concept. All you have to do is go to Canva, to elements, to grids, and just pick one of those line elements that you have. In this case, I took some lines and I colored them in yellow and purple. Following that, I created a second one, and this time I chose 3 colors to go along, which are white, pastel blue, and pink. I think that those are really good color combination whenever I think about the 90s or the early 2000s. Now, these 2 stripe designs are actually supporting designs for an actual pattern, and for that, I needed to create a seamless pattern using Canva. Creating a seamless pattern using Canva with different clip arts and elements is actually pretty easy. Here's how it's done. In order for me to repeat a pattern over on Canva, all I have to do is drag it until it is split in the middle. And you can see the middle line here. That's the purple line that we can see here. And then I'm copying and pasting it, creating that same split on the other side, and making sure that they are aligned to the same height. You can select both of them with the Shift key to see that they are actually here and here in the same height. Let me show you how it looks when it's not. So this will not be a good thing. This is, and then I can also move it around. I just have to move it around together. Now, if I want to make sure that I'm hitting all the corners, for example, I'm going to put one here and split it both ways to see the purple lines in each way. Copy paste it, do the same thing, grab both, copy paste them, and drag them to the center. And now if I select all of them, you can see that all of their lines are coming together, and I can move them together to create a seamless pattern. I went into the Canva elements mostly for free and typed in things like shapes and triangles and squares and dots and even zigzags in order to get an assembly of different clip art or elements that I can use. You can see this on the screen right now. These different clip art elements, graphic elements, vectors that you can play around with their colors, because I do want to have this effect of very vivid and very different from each other colors on top of, well, a black background I thought would be the best when it comes to designing the all-over print hoodie. So with all of these elements on my Canva design, I opened a new design, color the background in black, and started copying these elements, playing around with their colors, and of course playing around with their alignment within the canvas to create a seamless pattern, whether again it was to put things to the side, up and down, and making sure that everything is actually going to fit into place to repeat itself when I take it from 5,000 pixels by 5,000 pixels as seamless patterns on Canva and transfer it into Printful to be able to tile it to create a larger size print. After I created the pattern that I think would be the base pattern for my all over print hoodie, I also wanted to create some text. And for that I was using a font called Sprite Graffiti, because graffiti is basically all the buzz in that period of time, and I simply wrote 80s kid, 80s and the word kid under, and I was using the Canva effects to add these bulky white outlines for my design. Now I still had to design something for the all over print sports leggings, and in that case, if I have to look at the product itself before you even design it, the upper part of the product is already black. So I knew in advance that I'm not going to have anything of a black background for the actual design. I'm actually going to do a white one. And it took me a while to figure out what I want, and then I thought to myself, hey, I could just make like this pattern from text, and the text is going to be like different slang words or catchphrases back from the 90s and the early 2000s. So I closed my eyes and tried to meditate on the slang words of the 90s and came up with booyah, as if, fly, whatever. And of course, my favorite, most horrible 90s 2000s joke, which is not. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but not was like a very, very big thing in the 90s and the early 2000s. Took all of these different elements and created a seamless pattern from that so I can use it for my all over print sports leggings. I took a good look on all of these designs on Canva, decided that this is it, downloaded all of the seamless patterns and those stripes images in JPEG 5000 by 5000 pixels and the 80s kid in PNG with transparent background. And now, after the design files were downloaded, I can move to step number 3, which is designing the actual product. For the all over print hoodie, I took the black background with the pattern and basically tiled it on the front of the hoodie and on the back of the hoodie. I took the white, blue, and pink stripes and placed them on the pockets of my all over print hoodie and the hood of the all over print hoodie, and the other pattern that I had, the stripes that are yellow and purple, I was using for the sleeves. And let's not forget the 80s kid text clip art element that I created on Canva and placed it on top of the hoodie in the front center in one placement. Looking at the mock-up of this hoodie, I felt like maybe this combination between both of the stripe colors was not really my thing, so I went back to edit the all over print hoodie, removed the yellow and purple stripes from the sleeves. Instead, I switched them to the white, blue, and pink stripes, but on one sleeve, they're horizontal, on the other sleeve, they're vertical, creating this kind of like aesthetic mismatch effect that I really loved back in the 90s. As for designing the all-over print sports leggings, that was pretty much the easiest thing ever. I just uploaded the pattern that I created, which was 5000 by 5000 pixels of these text patterns, retro slang words from the 90s and 2000s. I made the pattern a bit smaller to be able to have really good DPI, and with the tiling option over on Printful, basically tiled it all over the sports leggings. I did, however, notice that I can also design a pocket, so I went into the pocket design, added the original black background pattern from the hoodie to the back pocket of the sports leggings, and even the 80s kid to be on top of that, of course very, very small, on the pocket of the sports leggings. And that took me to step number 4, which is ordering the items and waiting for them to come. I don't think I'll have to wait much longer since I'm living in Bulgaria and Printful has a fulfillment factory over in Latvia for these specific items. They have multiple fulfillment factories all over the world, and I usually get my orders between 6 and 10 days, which takes us to step number 5, which is unboxing my package. Okay. Let's see what I got. Okay, let's take these out. I'm actually really excited to check the all over print hoodie, but you know what? Let's start with the sports leggings. Ta-da! I like the fabric a lot. It's very stretchy. It's really good for sports. I'm actually thinking that I might have ordered it in a size too big for myself. That's what you get for ordering stuff and then losing weight. I want to start with the pocket of it. I think that the design came out amazing. I really love seeing it in like the inside pocket. And it's also a very useful pocket, and it's divided into 2. You have the main part here where you can put a cell phone, and then another small pocket here where you can put keys or something. And the print, oh my god! I mean, designing it on Canva is one thing, but seeing all of these like retro words on top of this is a totally different experience. It came out so well. And one of the reasons why I really like this specific sports leggings, and I don't know if you guys know this, maybe men don't, but when you do all over print on leggings, many times it creates this uncomfortable pattern in the intimate woman part area, which women feel very self-conscious about, whether it's on the front or on the back. So having the upper area be completely black is actually a more comfortable fit for most women, and then you can still rock on a pattern in the bottom part. This is so cool. I can't wait to try it on. I can already see that the colors are so cool. Oh my god, this printing is insane. What size did I get this in? I like everything to be like very wide. I think I got it in 2XL. Let's have a look. Oh no, I got it in 1XL. Okay, wow. They're big. I keep forgetting that they're unisex, so they're very big. And if we look at in terms of the product, let's call it weight, it's sort of in the middle. So it's not a lightweight hoodie that is going to be like something you put on a relatively colder summer night, and it's not a thermal hoodie. So we have one sleeve here that goes like this, and then one sleeve here that goes like this. And the pattern came out looking fantastic, especially in the front with the 80s kid, with the pocket, and with the hoodie. I do have to say, walking around with these in the complex that I live in had a lot of eyeballs turning. And to be honest, I don't know if it was because I was wearing all of these patterns, because we do have a lot of millennial expats living here. I more think it's because this video is filmed during the summer and it was about 28 or 30 Celsius degrees when I was wearing an all-over print winter hoodie and sports leggings that go all the way down. I can really see myself using the sports leggings by themselves with something like a simple white t-shirt. If I'm gonna go out with my all-over print, retro, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air inspired hoodie, I'm probably gonna do it while combining it with a pair of simple denim. These sports leggings are super cool. I can definitely see myself like going and running errands with them around town or going for co-working, and I'm pretty happy wearing this one on me. I'm always surprised at just how much these fabrics feel very nice on your skin, and especially feel very nice in this area of your wrist because they're not too constrictive. Not like some of those older sweatshirts and hoodies where it was basically super tight. So I really love how this came out. But with that being said, that was it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. Thank you, Printful, for hosting me on your channel again and adding these items to the nostalgic section of my print-on-demand closet. Have an amazing day and have super fun time designing all over print items by Printful.